Hello, everyone, and welcome to Metallography Podcast. I'm your host, Willie the Willster. In this episode, we're going to be looking at Metallica's And Justice for All. So, Metallica, what all is there to say about them other than they were the band for me? The band that really got me into heavy metal. Most metal fans that I've run into have a similar story of how Metallica was their first exposure to heavy metal. And it makes sense. Metallica has been a big part of metal music. Being named as one of the big four of thrash metal is not a title to just look over. For me, Metallica was a big reason why I picked up the guitar again. I wanted to play like James and Kirk, and as a teenager I would spend hours trying to learn the riffs to some of my favorite songs by them. So, some of my friends would say I was obsessed with Metallica, especially in high school. I can't blame them. I was obsessed with them, for sure. I had so many of their shirts that I could wear a different one each day for weeks without having to wash them. I even did a research paper of them for my English class. I think I got a 95 on it and a note from the teacher that said pretty interesting. So yeah, just a little obsessed, I guess. I first saw them on MTV for their Video 1, and that's how I was introduced to Metallica. I remember seeing it and being like, what is this? It's black and white, not flashy like some of the other videos I've seen. I was just blown away. And every time I saw the video come on, I would just stop what I was doing and watch it. I saw it on Headbangers Ball, and that was how I found out about metal bands and became a huge heavy metal fan. Alright, so according to a chat I had with Abraham Lincoln on the internet, this album came out on September 7th, 1988 on Elektra Records. This was the first album to feature Jason Newsted as their new bassist after the passing of Cliff Burton. This album features some of the most complex songwriting for the band with fast tempos and time changes and longer songs as well. Some fans of the band and this album will say that this was Metallica at its best. Kerrang! Magazine listed at number 42 among the 100 greatest heavy metal albums of all time, and in 2017, Rolling Stone ranked it at number 21 on their 100 greatest albums of all time. The album peaked at number 6 on the Billboard 200 and stayed on the charts for 83 weeks. It was certified platinum 9 weeks after it was released in stores. Well, and then there's the famous Jethro Tull incident at the Grammys. So, in 1989, And Justice for All was nominated for a Grammy in the Best Hard Rock Metal Performance, only to lose out to Jethro Tull's Crest of a Knave. This caused a bit of a controversy not only among Metallica fans, but fans of metal music in general. But the following year, Metallica would win their first Grammy. This album also included their first video for the song One. The video included some footage from the movie Johnny Got His Gun. Did anyone ever watch that movie? I have not seen it, so let me know if you have seen it and what you think of it. I'd be interested to hear. Some fans were opposed to Metallica having a video on MTV, as Metallica was kind of not really big on being on MTV or other forms of mainstream music. But having the video on MTV definitely brought new eyes and ears to them, myself included, as I mentioned earlier. So this brings up something new and recent that has happened with the band's music and fans and followers. Maybe you've heard of this little show called Stranger Things. If not, maybe check it out. Maybe you'd like it, maybe you won't. I don't know. I like it. Anyways, if you have heard of the show Stranger Things, then you probably know what I'm talking about. If not, well, I'll try to keep this spoiler free, and all I will say is that a popular Metallica song is played during an intense scene towards the end of Season 4. With this song, Metallica saw an increase of new fans, and it caused a little stir on social media about how some people are only fans because of the show, and that they're not true fans. So I'm not going to really get into all that, but I'm just going to say this. No one came into this world knowing who Metallica was. At some point, we all got exposed to them in one way or another. Whether you've been a fan of them since before their first album, or maybe you saw their Video 1 like I did and just fell in love with them, or you stumbled upon them from watching Stranger Things. We all have a different journey, but at the end of the day, we all want to enjoy the music our favorite bands put out and listen to some good heavy metal. The songs on this album are Blackened and Justice for All, Eye of the Beholder, One, The Shortest Straw, Harvester of Sorrow, The Frayed Ends of Sanity, To Live Is To Die, and Dyer's Eve. The way Blackened starts with the guitars fading in before just exploding is amazing to me, and every time I hear it, it brings back so many memories I have of just listening to this album constantly. Eye of the Beholder has a similar intro, but it is the whole band that fades in and not just the guitars. But that drum beat for Eye of the Beholder is one of my favorites on this album. The main rhythm of that song is great as well. I also enjoy the chorus lyrics to this song. One is the song that started it all for me. I love that song. And it was also one of the first riffs I learned to play on the guitar. The intro melody is so iconic because every time I hear it, my ears perk up because I know I am in for a treat. And who doesn't love to just randomly shout, "Darkness imprisoning me"? Harvester of Sorrow is another one of my favorites on this album. So my final review of this album is that I love this album, and I love all the songs on it. Every time I listen to this album, I get reminded of how I not only like Metallica, but how I fell in love with heavy metal music. If you've not listened to this album, or maybe you've not heard it in a while, I recommend you give it a listen. It is great, and it is a true metal classic album of all time. Thanks for joining me. Please let me know what you thought of this album by emailing me at metalographypodcast@gmail.com. Also, let me know of any albums you would like for me to review. Please like and subscribe to this podcast and leave a review. This helps to grow the show and make it better. Follow us on Twitter at metalographypod and like us on Facebook at Metalography Podcast. All the links are in the description below. Thanks again for listening and for your support. And remember, keep it loud and keep it metal. Be blessed, everyone.